Hi guys, so I'm going to play the voice notes what are left over. It's going to take a few videos I think because we've got a whole month of messages left. However, I'm not going to play the voice notes from the day of Adriana's funeral because that's just a whole lot of upset and sadness, and I'm not going to play it because out of respect for the family, but I'm going to start on the 24th of June.
Hey, I hope you're okay. I had a question. I don't know if you can ask Amika for me. Or Amika might be the better one to ask. I had a question whether, obviously when they got to the Doubleday Hotel that day and they managed to speak to their own children, so Adriana's brother and sister, what did they say happened? When did they last see Adriana? Because obviously they've had loads of time to speak to them since, like Gabby and her little brother as well. What do they remember that happened? Do they remember anything about last seeing Adriana, where she went? And do they have any kind of weird stories to tell about the family just sitting there and not searching or anything like that?
Right now it's investigation time. It's another phase we're going into. So everything that everyone knows so far after the burial, they gotta leave for the court. And one thing I think needs to be addressed. Any more speaking or anything needs to be coming from the attorney. So I don't think they are going to answer that question right now, at this moment as we speak. As we're still like, today is 2 months. Mark it 2 months since Adriana was found dead. So it's like everybody going through like another grieving period. So I don't know, but when the court. But when I talk with her, I will ask her your question, but I know that is what was said, that no more question will be asked until everything go to the court.
No, that's absolutely fair enough. So obviously online it's going to really just die down now, isn't it? And nothing will be said until the investigation comes out. So I obviously will find some other cases to cover in that in the meantime. Because if there's not going to be new information, there's no point just regurgitating old information all the time, which is fair enough. Hopefully the investigation will start to move forward through the courts. And I know they're looking to get a private investigator and stuff, so hopefully that will start to happen.
They're doing this now. Well, look at this right now. The 13-year-old girl that went missing, it was a police officer at the people child in a house. Beat her, or what he did with her for over 7 days while her parents looking for her. And took her across the river and let her go. And if somebody found her, my God, well, because Leroy Smith get away with this, with Adriana, all the other police get away. Well, they think they get away. Let me correct myself, because they think they get away. They're doing this now. This is sad. This is so sad. This is so sad.
So that was about the little girl who got taken in Tucson, but it did turn out that it was not a police officer. It was a man that worked at the police station. So I put, they think they've got away with Adriana, so there was nothing to stop them.
Indeed, but they are wrong. You see, they bring him out because he's a black police officer. If he was an Indian, he was going to get away with it. But I'm sorry, he's not going to get away with it.
No, he was definitely a police officer, because I'm trying to make a video, but in some reports I'm saying he was a cleaner at the police station, which don't make any difference, but I'm just trying to find out if he was definitely a police officer.
I didn't really look into the matter that much after I heard of it on fire last evening, because I'm on the phone every day, every minute with Amisa and Amika. Amisa have been crying a lot. I myself have been crying a lot. Just sad. Everything is just sad. You know, I would never ever go back to Guyana, not even to visit. But I'm not sure. I think I had heard they had said he was a police officer. And he used to visit the family, so I'm not sure. I haven't read up on it properly.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a minute ago on Amika's page that Adriana would have got into her favourite school. I just think it's so sad. It's so sad that she never got to get her results. And I saw that Amicia is going on to that police officer's podcast on the 1st of July. Yeah, I did see that.
On our podcast.
Hang on, let me start from the beginning.
Yeah, it's myself and her. I'm the special guest because I don't do public. I don't do my pictures. I don't do anything public. So I'm the special guest, and she will be there on our podcast on Tuesday coming. No, man.
What's that again?
OMG, I know this mother. This is a quiet woman. I know her. We used to work together in 1997. Oh my gosh. 1990. This is a very quiet and respectful woman.
So that was about, again, the mother of the 13-year-old who was taken.
Hey, Angie, are you okay? I listened to the podcast yesterday, the whole of it, and there's one part in it that really surprised me because I've not heard it before. So I was just wondering if you could tell me a bit about it. Where you said that the lady in the grey dress and Stefan and his mum went for a meeting with the police inside the hotel. Was that when Adriana was missing, and what part? And do you know anything about that meeting? Could you just tell me, please?
And she's put, good morning, I'm on a call. I will listen to your message when I'm off. And I've said, okay, thank you, good morning.
Hey, Hayley, can you call me now? Sorry, I was busy all day. What happened? No, it's not inside of the hotel. The day before Adriana went missing, Brian's mom, Stefan, and the lady with the broad hat, they met at a restaurant. The three of them were planning something. Persons overheard stuff, cameras saw them and everything. They were planning the day before Adriana died.
So that's in relation to Stefan and Carol meeting with the lady in the grey from beside the pool at a restaurant the day before. And I put, what? That's massive. Oh, hang on. I'll start a voice note from the beginning.
Morning. That is not for going out in the public. Mr. Todd using that because it's a police officer who video and overheard what went on. And a very good police officer, not a bad one. So Mr. Todd using that. So please don't put that out in the public. Like, if you put out just something like, you know, something like they were planning before, the day before Adriana demise or something of that sort.
I put, it was on Carlotta's podcast. Everyone's already heard it. You already said it live. And she's put...
Watermelon one. No. Ellie, yes. No, not that. I'm talking about what I said about the police officer. Nobody should know that it is a police officer who recorded everything and overheard everything. I am the one who told Carlotta, sorry. Yeah. But it was the mother, Stefan, and the lady with the brother that was chanting over her body. They were in a store, corner store the day before. That's all. And they were planning what to do with Adriana.
And I put, of course.
Sorry, Lance, your call yesterday. I was at a school event. This is massive news. This shows pre-planning. This shows premeditation. This, like, literally, this is everything.
It is. They are evil. They are so evil.
How is Sir Brian doing with it all? What I mean is, like, how is he dealing with, like, his family doing this to him? Because he sent me a sad video yesterday, actually, on TikTok. Just like, it was just a song saying he's got... it was someone else's song just saying, like, I wish I'd have more time with them. I think, obviously, about Adriana. I'm just wondering how he's coping with, like, knowing his family are behind it.
Unfortunately, I never had a conversation with Sir Brian about that. I will ask. I never asked him. Because I just think he's still grieving, and I think...
So this video will follow on straight from the last video I've just posted with the voice notes just straight into it.
Okay,
Okay, for now.
You can ask him whenever you're talking to him. Ask him and hear what he said.
I haven't spoken to Brian for months. I don't really. He hasn't really spoken to. I haven't spoken to Amicia for ages either.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
No, that's fair enough. I would never really ask him anyway, because I think, you know, it's. I know he was on Fatter's Live yesterday. He said he's got no bad feelings towards his mum at all. And people said to me, like, well, how can you feel that way? And I said, he's grieving. Maybe there's stuff he doesn't want to say to the public. Maybe he doesn't want to publicly denounce his mother. Maybe he just wants to, you know, it's very hard for him to talk about certain things, and I'm not going to ask him either. I'm just a stranger to him. Hey, the one other thing that's confused me, because I've heard you say it on Talk to Things, and I've seen you say it on that podcast, is that her body was drained of all the blood. I've not heard that before from from anywhere else. Do we know that's a fact? On a TikTok live where
Hang on, let me get
Hi,
that.
Andrew. I hope you're okay. Sorry, I should call you Camille, shouldn't I? But I never want to get confused online and use the wrong name. I hope you're all okay and stuff. I had a little bit of a to-do with Sir Brian and Fatty yesterday. Nothing major, but people saw me say in his comments, justice for Amicia, because I just felt like both of them were being so disrespectful towards the fact that he is married to Amicia, and it just wasn't on. And I may have overstepped a little bit, but I was just furious in the moment of the things being said, and it was on a TikTok live where everyone was watching, so I just feel like Amicia deserves better than that.
Let me call her.
Hi,
morning. What live Sir Brian was on? What did he say? I know Amicia spoke with me yesterday. She was very upset, but let me call her to find out what did he say.
He was there's always like loads of like flirtatious kind of banter between Fatta and Sir Brian, but I just kind of ignore it. But yesterday he was calling her sexy and stuff. Now obviously everyone goes in there because we want justice for Adriana. We're all gifting him and stuff. But then because I'm covering the case, everyone starts messaging me saying like, oh, do you think that's fair? Do you think it's okay? And it got to the point where I just put in the comments, Sir Brian, justice for Amicia at this point, because she's at home grieving and you're at the bus station with your friends and you're calling her sexy and stuff, and she's telling you she's going to wear a bathing suit and all of this. It was just too much.
What you
keep sort of halfway through.
I'll talk with him. You weren't wrong when you said justice for Amicia. I don't like this girl Fatou. I don't know her, but I don't think. But I'll talk with him. But you weren't in the wrong when you say that. So don't feel that you were wrong.
I think she's really disrespectful. And there was a thing last week where Sir Brian had put his hat on top of Adriana's grave because he wanted it to be buried with his daughter. So Fatta had taken his hat and she'd taken it home, and she was wearing it on live, saying, I've got Sir Brian's hat on, I've got his sweat on me. And she was saying things like, I didn't want to leave the hat to rot alongside his daughter. And I'm like, that's so fucking disrespectful. You could see Amicia was really uncomfortable with her at the funeral. And my thing with Sir Brian is like, say whatever you want to Fatta, but don't do it online. Because right now we're fighting a justice campaign for Adriana, and the whole world is watching you. The whole world is watching. So you just have to be a little bit more aware of what you're doing and what you're saying.
Correct. You are right. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to call him later on this evening, and I'll have a good sit down with him, talk with him, because what you're saying makes sense. I don't know this girl. I saw her 1 or 2 times, but I don't like her. She kind of ghetto to me. So I don't like her behavior. She's very loud. But I'll talk with him. And I'll talk with Amicia too. Because Amicia and I had a talking pertaining to some comments he made when he was with Fatta, something about I think he didn't want to say directly his mother at fault or something of the sort, but I'll talk with him.
I have the clip, and I was really annoyed by it. I have the clip, I can send it to you. He says that he's not mad at his mum, that she's not done anything, and that he will never go again. Like, he said she's my mum, basically, like, and then everyone was having a go at me saying, like, Sir Brian doesn't think his mum's done anything. And I'm like, well, no, I don't care about that. But he did say, he was very vocal about it. And Fata had a go at me last week saying, you cannot blame Stefan and the grandmother without any evidence. I said, look, there's loads of evidence. Amika said the same thing. I said, you don't understand about the case. You're not educated in crime at all. You don't know what's happened. And she's like, I'm only here for Sir Brian. She's so flirtatious with him. Even on the live, she was saying, I'm going to try and get you the clip where he called her sexy yesterday as well. Give me a second. She's saying to him, call me any time of the night, 2:30, baby, and all this. And his face just lights up when he sees her. And a lot of people have said, like, at the funeral, she had his phone the whole day and she's begging people for lying. She's grinding on the graves. She's so, like, you know, she's such a crass female. It's not good. It's not good at all. And I said yesterday, the females of this family, you, Amika, Amicia, you're fighting so hard for justice, and it's being undone when Amika says things like about the grandmother, and then Sir Brian comes out and acts like she's a saint. I don't get it.
Then I sent the 2 clips that I told I would, and then I said, I have nothing against my mum. She took your daughter to be killed.
You know. Oh, I can't believe this is what Sir Brian said. So therefore, I'm being negative to speaking out. Amicia being negative for speaking out. Amika, you being negative for speaking out. Everybody else who speaking out being negative. Really?
Fata, Sir Brian won't come near me because he knows my opinion is that Stefan and his mum, etc., and all the adults that were there must have known something. But we're all fighting for justice for Adriana. And we're all angry at the same people, right? We all want the hotel owner to pay, we want Leroy Smith to pay, we want the police to pay, the government to pay, we want them all to pay. But it starts with his mum, and he has to get over that. But when you make such big statements like that, it calls the rest of us liars, including you and Amika and Amicia. And then when the same person on that live, Fata, who, by the way, is not even 1% the woman that Amicia is, you're calling her sexy. And saying that she looks so sexy in her dress and stuff, and the whole world is watching you. It's a disgrace to Amicia and Adriana when he uses his time for that. When he says, like, stop being negative about my mum, like, what do you want us to do? Be positive about the fact that she took Adriana after asking Sir Brian. He said no. Then she lied to Amicia because she was so determined, because it had already been predetermined what was going to happen, to take Adriana somewhere where she knew she'd never come home from. Like, how do you not be mad at her? You sat the other day at your daughter's graduation that she'll never get to live out her dream of going to Lenora College because of your mum. And the other people may have killed her, but she took her there to die. And by the way, the implication of that voice clip is that now people are starting to think Sir Brian may be involved. And I said yesterday, like, no way in hell. And they said, why is he not mad at his mum then? Like, why is he on live flirting with women and stuff instead of being angry about what's happening? So what he's doing is really detrimental. And obviously I don't believe he's involved in any way. Like, I saw him save his daughter. I saw him, how sad he was. I've seen him since be devastated. But that is what he's doing by doing stupid stuff like that.
I'm going to deal with it. I just sent the stuff that you sent to me. I sent the stuff what Carlotta sent to me. And everybody upset. I'm going to send you what Carlotta sent to me and say, and I'm upset too. Amicia just came out of church to talk to me, and she gone back in church. When she come out, she call me. I'll add you to the call if you like. And I'm going to deal with Sir Brian. I already sent it to Amika too, because this is wrong. This is wrong on all front, all level. This is wrong. Did your mother put you up to this? It's Fata that put you, and Fata is hollering, come here, bring out the Ricardo. I can't stand that girl.
I'm going to start the next video with the forwarded messages from Carlotta, because they're 2 minutes 57 long and I've only got 50 seconds left of this video. I'm going to play the Carlotta clip in 1.5 because she's a slow speaker and obviously it's 2 minutes and 57, and I want you to get the general gist of it, but it's really not important.
Sure, you'll be able to reach him and help him understand that, and I've been saying this since I have put my eyes on this case, is that people can't have biases, even though these are people that are relatives, blood relatives. We got mothers and cousins and close friends, and just different parts of family that's involved, right? And you would normally think and not wish that somebody in your family, somebody like a mother or somebody like a cousin or whomever else, would be a part of such a heinous, like a horrible crime. But he, even though that's his mom, he cannot be biased because his love for his mom and let that overrule the fact that it's very obvious that she had a hand to play in it. And it doesn't matter how big or how small.
I'm not going to play the rest of the Carlot one. She's basically just saying to Ange that she needs to speak to Sir Brian and get him online with kind of what everyone else is saying rather than making crazy comments about his mum.
Yeah, it's really, really it's really bad. But obviously, like, even that time when he embarrassed me on live because his mum told him to, like, at this point he's working for his mother. Like, you're going live to clear her name. He was on live with Fata flirting yesterday for about 40 minutes. Like, he never mentioned Adriana. Never. And the whole comments are full of people, justice for Adriana, how are you and Amicia? Like, how are you all? And he's literally taking the piss at this point because, I mean, Fata's not even a beautiful woman. You know what I mean, even if she was, it wouldn't matter. But she's just literally vulgar. Absolutely vulgar. And when you're on a massive platform and you're telling, like, Fata's got a massive Guyana following, you're telling them all, like, no, we're not mad at my mum. It's not my mum. And there's me.
Let me turn it back on to ×1 because it's going really fast.
She passed vulgar stage. Adriana is a child. And I saw a video with she whining on her tomb. Huh? Yeah, she was winding up on her tomb and the big vulgar music that was carrying on in the burial ground on the day when the child was buried. Yeah, and I'm going to deal with Sir Brian. Between you and I, please don't mention this to anyone, but he's supposed to come at my house. They're supposed to come to visit. I'm going to sit him down and I'll deal with him good. Because I'm speaking out, you speaking out, everybody speaking out. All of us now, we're the one who feel ashamed. And I'm very, very upset and angry. I'm very upset and angry. And Amicia is very upset and angry. I just told her to. Indeed. If my mother take my child, I'm done with her. I can't make my mother. I make my child. But his mother always in his ears. And I can't stand that girl, Fata. I can't stand her.
When are they coming for a visit? I'd never tell anyone anything you told me. There has to be something like, you know, even with all the evidence, like, people need to go back through it with him and be like, your mum took her to the hotel, she had a meeting the day before, your mum told her husband not to search, the 14-year-old said that Adriana went with Stefan, like, and then online, you're making it okay what they've done to Adriana. And he has to know that Adriana never could have been found in that pool in the state she was unless people she trusted and she called grandmother took her there. She is the beginning of it all. And I couldn't even have another conversation with my mother. If my mother had done what Carol had done, she'd be dead to me. Absolutely dead to me. And I'd be online calling her all the names. And it is because everyone's seen all the evidence. They've heard what Carlotta said. They've heard what I said. They've heard what Amika said. They've heard what you said. So everybody knows that Carol is involved. And then they're seeing Adriana say, I love her. They're seeing Sir Brian say, I love her. She's my mum. People instantly are going to say, Sir Brian, you took payment too. You knew what was going to happen. Because how else can anyone see it?
You are right. They're coming soon. You are so right. You're 100% right. This is so upsetting. I'm waiting when Amicia come out of church and call me back.
I think because there was a weird feeling at the funeral that Amicia didn't want Fata anywhere near her. And there was like a time right at the beginning of the funeral where Fata come and sat right next to him, was like dancing and throwing herself around, and you could see how uncomfortable Amicia was. And, you know, Fata walked around the whole funeral on Brian's phone asking for lions, which is like £300, about $500. And she was saying, I'm only here for Sir Brian. But whenever they're on live together, his face lights up and he gets all flirtations, and she starts, even when they were in America and Amicia was in the background. And I just think it's so disrespectful. And it's obviously people then watching him saying like, oh, he's a grieving father, but he's obviously saying all these things to Fata. Fata's just, to me, she's not really a woman. Like, to me, a woman is someone who is respectful of a woman, respectful of marriage, is respectful of the fact that, he's probably a bit vulnerable right now as well, isn't he? Because he's grieving. And it will all come off on him, not her.
Correct. She don't have no shame with her ugly little self. She has no shame. Women like them, you call them home wrecker.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I'm such a supporter of women, like women's businesses, women. Like, I'll always pick up women. And obviously, from the moment that I had access to speak to Amicia, I would rather message her than Sir Brian because that's her husband. I just think that's respect, and I just think that's the way it should be. Like, I don't know either of them from real life, so I would always choose to go to the women in the family because it's just how I hold myself. I would never send Sir Brian anything that was flirtatious or rude, because you're dealing with a justice case and he's married to a woman who's also lost her child. I just think Fata is grotesque.
You're right. That's how I operate too. Obviously, Fata have no respect. She have no decency among herself. She just a hoe for all I care. She don't care. She's a little ghetto trash.
Then she sent me a screenshot from Amicia's private Facebook saying, Amicia posted it. Hang on, let me just get it up. It says, please note that pertaining to Sir Brian Young, it's live whenever it was, which is circulating online. He is free to his own thoughts as it relates to his mother. But as for me, the mother of Adriana Young, whatever part she played in getting my child killed, her time is coming. She neglected my child among other things and is playing a victim after everything. God is a just God and the exposure will be soon. Don't worry, we ain't separating as your wish. We plan to still be together. Angie sent me that, and then she said, his mum is pushing him to separate from Amicia. It will not happen. And I said, wow, okay, is that on her Facebook? And she said, I believe she just sent it to me and asked me if she should post it. I told her she should. I said, I think she should. And I said, for Sir Brian, it's time for him to pick his wife and his children and leave his mum behind. He cannot get full justice for Adriana and still have a relationship with his mum. Does he know about her meeting the day before with Stefan and the woman in grey? Start again. Ooh.
Like, she tried. He know everything. He know. Yeah, that's the Sandra Frankenstein. He knows everything. She just pushing him. Like, she trying to confuse his head. No. It's long.
Yeah, he needs to let it go. He needs to understand that a woman that didn't even raise him, who had no care for her own children, definitely doesn't have care for her own grandchildren. And all the facts together point to the fact that his family knew beforehand. It's not just negligence. It's you took her there for a purpose. She was given a VIP band because she had been chosen. Adriana was the one. And then they took her away and did all sorts. And that anger has to drive him to separate from his mum and fully support Amicia. And I wonder if sometimes his behaviour with Fata is kind of to impress his mother, to show disrespect towards Amicia. And he really has to make the choice. He needs to man up now and be a father and a husband.
Fata,
big...
You didn't hear this from me. On the funeral day,
interesting.
He has his police brother came and took him. They went to drink, took him out for late. He came home late that evening, and his police brother is like have a big influence on him. So he probably talked to Sir Brian must say, oh, don't let people talk bad about mom, whatever. But his family full of shit. I can't stand them. And he gotta leave and cleave. He love Amicia, but you're right, he must be doing it, must be impressing her, thinking that, oh yeah, you want me to get other woman, blah blah. Let me talk. Fata, that big cow with her big bump. I can't stand that girl.
So what you just heard then was something we've all been wondering, right? That Sir Brian met with his brother, who is a Guyana police officer, on the day of Adriana's funeral and then changed his tune.